Yeah, it's your host Reef with your host C. I want to welcome you to a new episode of the Real and Unapologetic podcast. Strap yourselves in because for the next 30 to 60 minutes, it's gonna be one hell of a ride. Yeah, I sound like motherfucker Prince. Yo, let's go. All right. This is the one and only podcast where we talk about the topics that need to be talked about. We say the things that need to be said, the way they need to be said, and at the same time offer real solutions that just might change the way you're thinking and maybe change and bring some sense of some of the craziness that's going on in this world. So, prepare yourselves because we're going to be coming at you raw, hard, real, and unapologetic. Ladies and gentlemen, and podcast lovers, stand up and give a round of applause for your boys, Reef and C.
Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school.
Yo, we gotta find out if C's ready. Yo, C, you ready? Come on, C. I know I'm ready. C, you ready? Come on. Yeah.
Big, you fast, dude. All you got to do, stop looking for the big hit all the time. Every time I look at you, you looking to knock somebody's helmet off, or you looking to put somebody in the dirt.
Right.
He's like, look, just do all the little stuff. Do all the little things first that a linebacker is supposed to do, and you'll get those big hits. And then once I started doing that, being patient, that was it.
Yo, I actually say that in there. I say from 12:15 to 1, and I say to sell. Then it says, don't be anxious to buy or to sell at that, because that's the feeling that it gives you, because you're looking like, oh shit, all right, it's going up to 10:18, 10:14, 10:20, and it's bouncing around, and you're so freaking anxious at that point, like, damn, I'm trying to, and then you want to wait, but then it'll go to 1082, say from $10 to 1082. And then you're trying to think it's going to go to 11. It doesn't go. And then it drops right back to 10 right before your eyes. And you're like, shit,
yeah,
I should have got in there. But the thing is, you're being anxious instead of being patient going. Mm-hmm. So that whole thing, I wrote that whole game plan. And I said, this is the plan. Go by this plan. And then at the end, it goes, be happy with your profit. So set a mark. Say, I'm going to make $15 off of this each stock. I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? So if it's a 15, that's what you're going to make. $15 off of, you got 100, I'm going to $15 off each stock. So if it goes from 45 to 60, I'm cashing out. Yeah. And be comfortable with that. Even if it goes to 90, that ain't yours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's somebody else got that, or whoever, whatever. But it's just, that's that whole thing, that anxious thing. And everybody wants to be the big dog. And it's like, there's not that many big dogs. You know what I'm saying? It's not. You got Warren Buffett, but it's not 25 Warren Buffetts.
Yeah. That's what I told my pops. I was like, look, I said, the way I operate when we first started getting in the business together, I was like, look, it seemed like you and Chris, I said, I'm being honest with you. I said, y'all always looking for that big score, that big, $200,000 deal, profit that y'all looking for. You're always looking for that deal. I said, yo, I'm the type of guy, I'm looking for that deal too, but along the way, I'm picking up all these pennies that's coming along.
That's how I am, cuz. That's how I am. From everything I do, I want the $50 and I want the 50 grand.
Yep.
I want the 50 and the 50 grand. Just give me, you know what I'm saying? Give me both. I'm not going to pass up the 50 grand, the $50.
Yeah.
It still turns into 50 grand. $50 turns into 50 grand.
And them pennies that you picking up get you there quicker.
Right. Word. Yo, nah, man. That's what I was gonna tell you too. I was like, yo, how do you say, is it salmon or is it salmon?
Oh, that's been a big debate for years, yo.
So what you say?
I say salmon.
I say salmon. Yeah. So I was talking to somebody, and she's like, salmon. And I'm like, salmon? I never heard that. Salmon. I said Salmon. I never heard Salmon. Salmon. All right. All right. I said, I guess so. Maybe so. Maybe that's, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's the thing, man.
See, that's that English language again, man.
Tomato, tomato, potato, you know? Yeah.
People don't realize it that, English is the most difficult language to learn.
Right.
Like you look at Spanish, the vowels never change.
Right.
It's u. That's it. A-E-I-O-U. And no matter where the vowel is, no matter what, when you see that A, it's at, it's E is I is E. You know that no matter what happens, we got I before E, except after C.
There's yeah. A-I, it's I, A or I, or, you know what I'm saying? It's, that's.
You look at a word like, I can think of three right now. How do you pronounce C-O-U-G-H?
What you mean? You said C-O-U-G-H, cough.
Yeah. How do you pronounce B-O-U-G-H?
Bo.
Yeah. But it
would be boff.
Right.
Boff. Or if you think about something that B had said this before, he was like, he said, what he said, you don't be scared. He said, thanks be making up anything. He said it like what's the whores the overs? What's whores the overs?
Yeah. Hors d'oeuvres.
Right. If he called these are whores the overs. I was like, he said those are hood hors d'oeuvres. Whores the overs. I was like, you crazy, but that's for real though. If you look at that, it says whores the overs.
Yep. Well,
that's what it says. But right.
Almost every other language, nothing changes. There's no, like in Spanish, there ain't no long A or no long U.
Right.
Always the same. It's crazy.
This one is sponsored by Bud Light, man. We sponsoring this. This is Bud Light Lime, yeah. Okay. I said we sponsoring it. This is sponsored by Bud Light. You have one occasionally, man. Okay. But let's get right into, man. Let's welcome to another episode of the Real and Unapologetic Podcast. I'm your host, Reef, joined by your boy C.
What's up, people?
Yes. And this is today's topic might be touchy for some. It might be an eye opener for others, and it might be necessary for everybody. The topic is child support and alimony and prison sentences. They all need to be reformed. I agree, man. I agree with this topic, and it's a topic that hits everybody different. The mothers, the fathers, the inmates, the wardens, the wives, the husbands, the children. You know what I mean? This topic right here, man. You know who's affected the most in this topic?
Men. Think about it. They got us coming. They got us child support. They got us alimony. And then when we don't get that, when we don't pay that, we in jail.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap, man. I know a dude, he was paying, what do you say? He was paying alimony, child support. His wife was living in the home with her new husband that he's paying for.
Wow.
I was like, how do you do it? How you get that strength, man? Like, you gotta do it in your house. She kept house, your house, you paying for that. Like, come on, man. That's why, man, I'm not the Grinch to marriage, man, or anything like that, but it's like $75 to get the license and like $750,000 to get out. Because I look at it as a business, and we ain't gonna get off subject, but we gonna keep it on subject, and I'll go back into that when we get to do our personal takes on it. But let's talk about why child support is unfair to both mothers and fathers, and mainly fathers. Yeah.
Well, I mean, think about this. In this world of the Me Too movement and women wanting to take on more of traditional men's roles,
right?
Child support basically, to me, knocks that back another 70 years. We back into the 30s and 40s. You look at why is the law set so that the law looks at the mother as always being the primary care, the primary or custodial parent.
Right.
Are you saying isn't that wouldn't that kind of be sexist if you say that
that is sexist?
Men can't raise kids.
That's very sexist. But I'm gonna tell you something on that. Men, we kind of leave shit as be. We leave shit as be. We don't really fight. We don't fight any. We're not out there going me too because I guess, and we've been treated unfair. Honestly, I believe that men are treated unfair. But that's how it's always been, man. That we take the short end of the stick because of, like you said, the Me Too, the You Too, whoever, the group, and all. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean. But it's just we've been treated unfair, man, because I'm gonna say I got to go back into this because years ago, because we did women so wrong. Not saying us, and when I say us, I'm talking about us. Because we did women so wrong. Women were just like slaves back in the days. You know what I mean? They were looked at as they were probably about the same, and that's why some of the white women was with Mutombo down in the back. You know what I mean? She felt just like him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She couldn't do much. She got to eat better, but so did the house nigga. You know what I mean? He ate just as well as she did. They was both in the house, and that's why things went down. But back in the day, so they're paying women. They're paying them back. That's what do you call it? Their reparations for women.
That's their reparations.
That's their reparations. Child support is their reparations. Alimony is their reparations. And when it comes to prison, they lose. You know what I mean? They lose all the way around. But let's go back. Like I said, this is a really deep topic, but we're gonna stay with it and with child support. I want to say something and bring something up from 2014, man.
Okay.
This dude, Clifford Hall, Texas, man, he went to jail after overpaying child support. It was a clerical error. You know what I'm saying? So he was paying, but whatever between the court system and his employer, they weren't receiving them. It wasn't adding up. Mm-hmm. So he ended up overpaying, but ended up having to spend time in prison. And he was all paid up and everything, but he ended up having to do time. But that's the law, is that you don't, and that's why I'm gonna go into that, because this ties in with prison. The law is that when you fall behind, these women, whatever case, whatever, and the court system, they get to put your ass in jail. But at that time, that woman, when that man's in jail, he still owes that when he gets out, and she's not receiving no checks. Mm-hmm. So how is that benefiting the child if the father's being pulled away? How is the visitation that you're saying he has to stick to? How is that benefiting the child? How is that going to benefit him? It's not. It's destroying that kid and breaking the household up. But again, our great country and the system that people love so freaking dearly keeps fucking us. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they tied in so many different ways, man.
But even that gets back into what I'm saying. It's very sexist, and you can't have it both ways. Because women nowadays, like, I don't need no man. I only want a man when I want him.
Right.
But when you're dealing with child support and alimony, now you need them, right?
You need them.
That it's crazy that some states, when they figuring out child support and alimony, they won't even take into consideration the mother's income.
Right. I know that.
Crazy.
I've been through the ringer, and that's, listen, it was either, I've been through that, man. I've got buddies that have been through that, and they're still going through it. And I feel for them every day because they love their kids. They're great dads. The moms, on the other hand, you have it in some cases where the dads are better fathers. I mean, want the kids to succeed, spends time with the kids at every event. The mother's doing boyfriends and all kind of wild shit. And he's still getting fucked. They still telling him he got to pay. The kids get to live with him. Like, he went through a whole battle, had everybody interviewed, everybody. interviewed. He paid out his ass, everything, man. And at the end of the day, she still get to keep the kids. No matter what was said. I mean, this dude, like I said, he dedicated, he's one of the greatest fathers I know, and still went to the mom. Like, I'm like, how is this shit? What are they doing, man? Because I'm really lost, guys. I'm for real.
Ever since there was a couple of cases not too long ago. I mean, when I say not too long, maybe about 5 years ago, 10 years ago. But you have women where there was proof that one woman was sexually abusing the kids and one woman was very physically abusing the kids. And the father was trying to get custody, but the court kept giving them back to the mother. When there was proof, there was evidence. You even had the kids saying, no, I don't want to go with mommy. No, right. I don't want to go with mommy. But the court still give, and I think in one case, the mother ended up killing one of the kids. Mm. And all the time, the father's he's going to court, he's doing all the things necessary. Right. But then at the same time, when the roles is reversed, all the woman has to say is, oh, he's physically abusive, and that's it. He can't have absolutely no more contact.
No more contact with nothing. Right. That's
done.
That's fucked up, man. But like, what do you do with a system like that? And let me ask you, what was the guy's skin complexion?
Actually, one was black and one was white.
Okay, so it's fucking all men.
It's just skewed against men.
It's just against men. So that's what. Right. So it's not a color thing. So everybody's being fucked by it, and it's something's got to be done. Like you said, it needs to be reformed. Will we get there with the new Condoleezza Rice in office? I don't know.
we gotta see, but that's what this show is about. We're starting the conversation.
I'm starting the conversation because and listen, I got to point out with child support, some of these women, no different than the Me Too movement that we talked about. What episode was that? Episode 6, I think. Episode 7. We talked about episode 7 about women using the Me Too movement to get back vengeance against bad relationships, failed relationships, or whatever. Yeah. Women are using child support the same way. I've seen men be fathers their entire life. And then the woman, because she finds him, he cheated when the kid was 16, they go back from when the kid was born to 16 that he owes child support. How the fuck does that work? How does that work?
That's crazy.
Yo, this is the system, though. This is the system that everybody believes in and prays on and waits on and says, hey, help. Yeah, we're coming to you. Like, I would be running the other way. You know what I'm saying?
Well, see, and that's the whole thing. We got to realize that a lot of these laws were written back in the 1700s, 1800s, early 1900s. Times have changed.
Right.
And we don't change with the times. Even with you go back and you look at the Constitution. Come on.
Right.
So the Constitution wasn't written for today's times.
But they keep it.
Yeah, they keep the Constitution in such high esteem.
Why is that though? Come on, this is what we do. We want people to think, why do you think that is that they keep it in such, they don't want to change it?
Because it was great for white people back then.
Right.
It was great for white men back then.
White men, right, exactly. The white,
But come on, even now, I'm into my guns and everything, so I'm down with the Second Amendment. But you know what? You have to adapt with the times. The Second Amendment was made when cats is shooting muskets.
Right.
You owned a musket. That was your home defense right there. Yeah.
That's it. And that's it. One shot.
Right. One shot, and you either had to get the guy or you like this. Put the powder in.
Right.
Let me get a ball out my pocket. By that time, come on.
That's why they made knives on the end of the shit, because you had to stick him because he got so close to you.
Yeah. But that law was written for those times. They didn't think that, that same guy with the muskets get mad at his boss because his boss is on his back all the time. He going to the job. I'm going to shoot shit up.
Right.
He got a musket. He shoot one shot. He missed. Let me put a powder in there. Let me put the wad in there. Let me get the ball and then click. Oh shit! I forgot to put the flint in. Okay. By that time, the place is cleared out. So that shit don't apply to now when you got semi-automatic and automatic weapons.
It don't apply. You're right.
And
That's honest, real shit.
Be honest. I mean, like I said, I'm into my guns and all of that. But yo, you can't say, yo, I need an AK-47 to go hunting. If that's the case, hunting is a skill. It's tracking, is being able to make that one shot, one kill. If you take in a M16 to go hunting, what you just spraying up the woods and whatever you hit, that's what you eat.
Right. Or Uzi or something about that motherfucker. Like,
yeah, but it's the same thing. Getting back to alimony and child support, the things have to be rewritten because a lot of these laws they're antiques. They're antiques,
right.
It was when the men was just
they're only valuable to the person that holds it, which is like you said, white men.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
everything needs to be updated.
We need to update that. So with child support, like we're saying, people are being treated unfairly, fathers are being treated unfairly, and moms, you got to think about this. Look, if the dad's a good dad, he's coming up a little short with payments and he's coming to see the kids, let him be a dad, man. And that's what I always said, man. Let him be a good dad. He might not work. He might not have the hustler's mentality, the grind or whatever, and can pull all the shit out his ass. But if he's a good father, that's what you really want. You want a dad for those kids. You don't want them to grow up without a father. You want those kids to know where they come from, because that's the reason why we have a lot of broken households and a lot of these kids out here wilding out thinking they're girls. The boys that are thinking they're girls and girls are turning into boys because they don't have a father to look at. You know what I'm saying? So they don't know to identify. They've been around a mother their whole life.
Yeah.
So the thing is, these things got to change, man. And it's not just the laws, it's hearts. We got to change hearts. That's what needs to change. We need compassion. We need sympathy, empathy for people, just people. Doesn't matter, man or woman or whatever. It's just if your heart was broken. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I know myself, I've been in that situation where women are vindictive after that. And like they said, they didn't just create that. What is it? There's no scorn like a woman scorn. What's the
hell hath no fury like a woman scorn.
Right. Why are we saying phrases and making statements like this, man? What the fuck? Well, so that says something to women, like talk to your girlfriend or your mom, talk to your daughter or sister, talk to your best friend. I mean, we got to change hearts. That's what we need to do to change laws. We got to change hearts first.
Yeah, I agree. And it's getting back to one of our previous episodes. Women are emotional creatures. They lead not with their heads, but whatever their emotions tell them to do.
Right.
So if they're all up in their emotions during the breakup, you screwed. You're done. You know. I
agree, man.
Like you said, bottom line, the important thing here is the kids.
Right. And that was the question I asked you in the beginning. I said, who's getting affected the most? When you look at child support, when you look at alimony, when you look at the prison sentences and the kids, the dad that's getting locked up and don't see his kids until 18 years later, or, these dads that got locked up behind child support and he ain't seen his kids and the kids miss him regardless of whatever. They don't understand that. Well, dad can't be here because he owed this. And now you got to explain this to your child. Yeah, dad can't see you because he owed. Come on, man. And women have a say in that, and they can change that law. They can change that and be like, look, I don't want him to go to jail. That he needs to be here for his kids. Regardless, fuck that law. The dads need to be out. And men, I got to say this. Take care of your kids, man. If the kids, they're around and you're there, be there in their life, spend time with them, raise them. It ain't about money. Get out. Stop letting women tell you it's about money. It's about being a good father, man, teaching them life skills, teaching them how to be a man. You got a son, teaching your daughter how to be a lady. We need to be there. It's a balance, man. It's a balance. Left and right speaker. We need that. The woman's the left, the man's the right speaker. They need to hear both sides, or they're going to hear it and grow up and be all fucked up talking about they want to wear dress, and it's a boy. Come on, man. And they don't, look what they're doing, man. They can choose their own sex now.
because that goes back to them women always saying when they lose their man or they get a divorce or whatever, oh, I'm your mother and your father.
Oh, get them.
Come on, you can't be both.
Yo, I've had to check.
You can never have no matter what you do, you're never going to have the father role. Okay?
Let me ask you something. Have you ever said, and I'm going to let you keep continuing, but have you ever said Happy Father's Day to your mother?
No, absolutely not.
Right. Okay. That's all right.
You know, but you those roles have to be defined or it leaves the children confused.
Right.
And people don't want to acknowledge that. But if you sitting there, I got a Father's Day card on Mother's Day or whatever, because I got a Father's Day card and a Mother's Day card. Come on.
Right.
You know what? I'll say some women do a great job.
Great job. Right.
They have, but still, that there's still a void in that child's life from not having a father,
right,
or a father around. It's still a void, and no matter what you do, you're not going to make up that void. It has to be filled by a man. And we got to go after women who use this as a payday. Okay, now check this out. One woman, she had a kid with another guy, right? And
I know where you're going.
And he was paying child support. The first guy is paying child support. Then the mother got married to another guy, so she's still getting child support from this guy. 6 years later, she divorces the other guy, and now this guy is paying child support for the same child.
She doubled up.
He doubled up. Now, how is that fair?
Listen, man. The word fair, man. There's three meanings to it. There's fair, and fair. Let me. You go pay a fare. So don't ever look for fair. I tell my kids that all the time. My kids would be like, they'll come to me, something their mom did, something that their sibling did. Dad, it's not fair. I said the only thing fair, you could go pay a fare. That's the only thing fair, or you can fare, a march or something. But there's no fair, man, and it's not ever going to be fair. And that's why they confuse the shit out of people with those words, because it's spelled different. And it means something different, but it sounds the fucking same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just like that shit, man. Nothing's ever fair. It's never gonna, like you said, he's paying child support, and you could go to the court and be like, how is that fair? Pay the fucking fare. That's it. Shut up. Sit in the back of the bus. Hey, listen, we gotta stop looking for that shit. There's no fair. There's there's no fair, cuz. There's none of that shit. But hey, how about half? She wants half.
That always amazes me. Now, you know what? There's some cases that a woman deserves half.
What case?
And I would say if she was there through all the rough times and hard times, let's say you building a business,
right?
There, she knows you gotta. She might have been the only supporter. She might have been paying all the bills while you finishing up your degree, and then still paying the bills, taking care of the household and everything while you building your business or getting your degree. You get your degree and get that big payday, and then you out.
All right, you said that though. You've seen the movie Acrimony?
Yeah, I have. Mm-hmm.
He did it right.
Right.
Didn't he do it right?
Yeah, he did.
He did it right. He was there the whole time. She was there the whole time, and he believed in himself. She believed in him at some point. And then she allowed her family, and that's what happens. Your girlfriends get in your head, and that man ain't this and this. And then he got that big payday, and he still broke off with $10 million. Mm-hmm. Bought the house back, gave her. She had everything except she didn't have him.
Right.
And she had that acrimony. She had that bitter feeling and whatever. So that's
but for and I got to go back to my boy Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor said that when his wife lawyer came back when he was getting, I think it was his first divorce or a second divorce. The lawyer came back to him and said, yo, she want half and she probably gonna get it. He was like, half? That bitch ain't telling one joke. You know, he broke it down. He went off on a little rant on that joint. He was like, look, he used Johnny Carson as an example because Johnny Carson's wife got half too.
Right.
Like, look, when you Johnny Carson's wife, you only got one job. You only got one job. And that's to fuck your husband. That's it. That's the only thing you got to do. You got maids to clean up the house. You got chefs to cook. He said, what Johnny Carson, I think at the time was worth 150 million. Rich was like, so what you bringing to the table? You know, now I got 150 million and 25 cents.
Right.
Because of what you bringing to the table, how you gonna get half?
How you gonna get half?
Before I met you, and some of these laws is like, okay, well, y'all been together for 10 years, 15 years. You gotta pay alimony forever.
Forever. Because she used to a lifestyle. That's the fucking thing.
Okay. But if she's used to the lifestyle,
no, there's no such thing. Cuz don't agree with that shit.
No, I'm not agreeing. I'm
right.
not agreeing. But I'm saying now, if that's the case, how come a woman can go to court if she's used? Let's flip the situation now. Let's say she's used to you making $25,000 a year. That's her lifestyle, and y'all break off, and he blow up doing something. No How doubt. Come she can go back to court and petition? Her lifestyle hasn't changed.
Again, is that word fair? They want you to fair.
Lifestyle has not changed.
Listen,
she was used to them making $25,000 a year and raising the kid and everything. After he leaves, he jumps off in something big. He hit the lottery or whatever. Now she going back to court to petition for more money. You've been living the same lifestyle. Why your lifestyle? We not together when my lifestyle took off.
Look, listen, I just came up with it right now. The system wants you to fair, so pay your fare because ain't a damn thing fair. You know what I'm saying? That's it, man. That's what the system want. They want you to fair, so pay the goddamn fare. That's why they got you doing that, man. That's the thing, man. I look in this shit, man, and I do a lot of wordplay, and that's how I look at that word because that's how the system is. And everybody's always like, how is that fair? Yeah, it is, because you fair the system, so you're going to go and pay that goddamn fare, even though you know it ain't fair. You're going to be paying this shit like, fuck it. Like, what the fuck am I doing? This is wrong. You paying alimony, like I told you. My buddy paying alimony, the dude's husband living in the house. Listen, that shit ain't cool, man. But like Drake said, bitch, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym when she tried to get Kobe's ex-wife was trying to get, and Drake wrote that song and was like, bitch, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym. It's like, you wasn't in the gym with him. You ain't practiced. I get it. You was home. You was supportive, but you can't get half. I give you 10%. That's fair. I give you 10%. I got 150 million. You get 10% of that. You should be okay. You can't get half my 75 million like you was in the motherfucking gym and working out, all that work I put in. Get the fuck out of here. Again, a system to fucking reparations for women, man. I told you. And because they don't, the system is afraid of women. That's the fucking problem. Let me be real with you. They're afraid of them wives at home. They're afraid of all that shit. They don't want to hear that shit. And that's why there's no hell. Would you say that shit again? I always forget it. But there's no hell.
Yeah, hell hath no fury like a woman scorn.
Right. That's why they said that shit, because that's horrible to have to say that and to be talking about a woman.
Yeah.
Honestly, man. Like, that's not cool, man. But this is America.
Yeah.
And listen, I love America. I love it, but there's a lot of shit that needs to be changed, like you said, because it needs to be reformed. And it got to be addressed. And like, that's why we're having a discussion now. So people can start having the discussion at their dinner tables and you know, at lunch or running through the park, just having these discussions, because there's things that need to be changed. And if not, come on, women, you know what I mean? And I'm saying, I got to say women, because listen, it's your hearts. Listen to that goddamn phrase I keep telling C to say, because that's your heart.
Yeah.
They're afraid of you.
Yeah.
You're the ones that can make these changes because they're afraid. Now, me, on the other hand, I don't give a shit. I'm not giving you half a shit. I don't give a shit what. That's what I'm saying. So sign a prenup, and hey, I love you too. You know what I mean?
And let's not get it twisted. Marriage, a lot of things that are wrong with marriage is because marriage has been over romanticized. Seriously.
No doubt. Like we talked about in episode 7.
Yeah. Marriage in the beginning was just forming a partnership. This king had a cute daughter and he had goods to ship, and this king lived by the water, so he controlled the harbor. Yo, let's form a partnership. I'll supply the goods. You give me free passage to the harbor, and everything is good. It was a partnership. That's why you got married back in the day. But then you get the movies and come on, you got
the white dresses and the horses and the carriages and shit.
It wasn't about that. It was always
a partnership.
Trade. It was always a trade too. You even look back. Okay, give me 15 goats for my daughter.
Right. No.
Paying a dowry for your girl to marry somebody. Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree with that, man. The case. Let's jump into that, because we know that half shit it's not fair. But the case for prison reform.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, man? What's up with that? Like,
another thing that's antiquated, needs to be changed. I mean, especially the laws against black men. Some of those laws are still on the books.
Right.
Oh, I can't remember exactly what state it's in, but it's still on the books that a black man can't look a white man in his eyes. He could go to jail for that.
The fuck out.
A black man can't look at a white woman. He can go to jail for that. Some of those laws are still on the books. But
why, man? They think we terrorists, man. I'm gonna be real with you. We're in America and they look at us as terrorists.
Yeah, but prison reform, I mean, it's just gotta be changed. You got guys, perfect example. Remember that movie Life with Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy?
Mm-hmm.
That they made a comedy out of it, but that shit was for real.
For real, right? Getting life.
You remember the movie Sounder? He got like 15 years hard labor for stealing a chicken and a loaf of bread to feed his family. Come on. And that stuff still goes on today.
Today, right.
You got the crack laws and stuff,
right,
from the 80s and 90s. Come on, that's ridiculous.
And the problem with that is that you could have a white man and a black man walk into the same courtroom with the same case and leave out with different sentences. How the fuck does that happen, man?
Exactly.
Good lawyers, that's what they go. He had a good lawyer. Like, that's bullshit, man. The system should be set up that it should be no different than when you go in McDonald's, motherfucker. Let me get a number 1 and number 2. It should be in sequence and order. This is what happens. You got £1, whether you white, black, Hispanic, or Chinese, or you got a lawyer. That's what it should be. It should be a standard for everybody.
Yeah.
For everybody across the board, not just this motherfucker, he's this color, or he had a great lawyer and he can buy himself out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This shit, I don't agree with that shit, man. But again, the system was not made for us, man.
It was made
for us.
It was
made for us, though. It was not meant for us, but made for us, to keep us.
To keep the system going. That's what it is.
Right. That's what it is. Right.
You got free labor in jails now.
Right.
Free labor.
Listen,
that's the same thing they had during slavery. Free labor. How big do you think your business is going to be if you ain't got all you got to do is provide them with a bed and a bowl of mush every day, and they working 23 hours out of the day? Come on. How big? If you're a business owner, how big do you think your business would be if you didn't have to pay for none of your labor?
Yo, I'd be killing them. Yo, this cat said real shit. You gotta cut a $5,000 check for somebody, that did. Yo, I'd be killing them.
Exactly. And that's what
you see me on this shit with diamonds around the fucking all over the shit. The shirt be diamond.
But go back and look at the rise of the prisons coincides with the rise of free black people. When they found out that, yo, you know what, we're not gonna have this free labor anymore, that's when the prison system started rising, and they just started throwing people in jail for nothing. Oh, you got one shoe off and one shoe on, I'm taking you to jail.
Taking you to jail, right?
You ain't supposed to wear those colored pants on Tuesdays, I'm taking you to jail. And all the time it was black people, but it was for that free labor. Now you had the mayor in the town or the sheriff of the town talking about, oh, well, you know what, put them on the work farm. What's that? A work farm. So
farm.
You working the sheriff's farm for free.
Right.
Whether milking his cows, whether harvesting his crops back then, free labor. He ain't got to hire nobody for that. So he's just rolling in the dough now.
Right.
And the rise of the prison system, if you look, they rise on the same line. The rise of the prison system and black people being free. That's when the prison system started taking off. When they just started throwing us in jail for anything. Oh, this is another buck I could work. I could work them to death. Bring more money and put more money in my pockets.
So what's I want to ask you, while we on the case for prison reform, what's the solution to black men? What do you think we should do as black men, as our brothers? What should our brothers do to escape this hard system?
First and foremost, we got to know the law, and we got to know how the law is manipulated.
Right.
So that we can be aware of everything that's going on. And when I say know how it's being manipulated, look, number one, if you ain't do the crime, don't be pleading guilty for it. Stick to your guns, regardless of what your court-appointed attorney says. If you go to court, blah, blah, this, blah, you got to realize that court-appointed attorney probably seeing 40 other niggas like you.
Right.
You know? And all they trying to do is get the cases off their desk so their boss don't come down. All right, you know what? I ain't even going to look at the evidence, but they say you did this, you did that. Just look, you know what? Just cop a plea. I could guarantee you, I'll work a deal out where you only get 3 years instead of the 10 they want to give you. If you're a young kid, that shit is scaring you to death. 10 years. If you go to court, I'm looking at, she ain't even look at your evidence, or he ain't even look at your evidence, but if you go to court looking at what they got on you, if you go to court and the jury find you guilty, there's nothing I could do. They probably gonna give you the max. Come on.
Yeah, nah.
Number one, you got to know the law. You a first-time offender.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in a lot of cases, I won't say all.
Not all, but some cases, first-time offenders get fucked, though.
Yes, there's some cases, but you know what? Know the law.
And it depends on what state they in, too, because some of these states are just hillbilly states.
Exactly.
They don't give a shit. They're just looking to fry you. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you're right, but know the law, definitely.
Like I said, you got cats confessing to crimes that they didn't commit. You know, honestly, I'm going to court. I'm gonna have to take. If I know that I didn't do it,
then ride that shit out.
I'm riding that shit out.
Right.
I'm riding that shit out. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Right.
Like, if I plead guilty.
Now you got that. Now, first thing, you plead guilty, and even if you get 3 years, now you got to walk around with that shit, and then nobody's really gonna hire you.
Yeah, you got a felony on your record. You can't do shit.
I know plenty of people who got that felony on this like a stamp, my record. So as soon as they put that in, and don't lie, because then when they track your ass down, they're gonna fire you anyway. So it's fucked up. It's just a stamp that you live with. It's not cool, man. I don't agree with this shit. Like I said again, it's the system, man. It's not fair. It's not.
Make sure that everybody has access to the same type of attorney. You know, it shouldn't be based. Well, if you're wealthy and you can pay for this high-power attorney, you can get off, because that's the way the system works now. The system works. You know, look at your boy Donald Trump. All right, and this is going to tie into something we're going to talk about later. But 500,000 COVID deaths. Now, you're supposed to be the captain of the ship, right? Mm-hmm. You're supposed to be the captain of the ship. The ship done sprung a leak. And Donald Trump is saying, Oh, there ain't no hole. Stay on the boat. You ain't even got to go to the lifeboats. Just stay on the boat. Okay, that's Donald Trump, billionaire, high-powered attorneys. I can't even remember his name, but that boat, that the Costa Concordia, that boat that capsized in Italy. Fucking captain was like, everything's all right, everything is all right. He was the first one off the boat, rowing the shore. They brought him up on charges. He in jail.
Right, no doubt.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing, right? I agree.
Everybody, you can't say everybody should, whether it's paid for by the state, if there's a high-powered attorney out there, get this guy off. You got to look at it the same way. Either that, or you can only pay a certain amount for an attorney. There got to be a cap on attorneys' fees.
Right. But what is that though? Is it that attorney just studied? You know what I mean? And that he's that good, or he knows the law? I mean, what is it? I'm just saying. What's up,
dude? It's the money.
I know it's the money.
Money does so much. Now, right. If you got the,
so is he tied in? I'm just saying, is he tied in with the system and he's heading them off like boom? And what is it? Because it's all right. Because I'm gonna say this. I had to get an attorney before, and it was $300 an hour, and that's what the judge said. He was like, "You lucky because of your attorney." The thing is, so it's the information that this attorney upholds that it had to be, you know what I'm saying? That he holds.
But not only that, it goes back to
or his relationship, was who you know. Like, hey, I know him. We cool.
It's who you know. Though that money buys all kinds of contacts. Now you can go out. They got people it's just their job. They're jury experts. They can look at a person's mannerisms, study their resume and whatever, and be like, nah, you want to stay away from this one. We got to make sure this one don't get on the jury. So they get professionals to pick the juries for them. That's what that money pays for. Your court-appointed attorney can't do that.
Can't do that shit, right?
You know, your court-appointed attorney ain't playing golf with the judge on the weekend. You know, and that's another thing. People tend to put judges and attorneys in high esteem and everything, and put them on a pedestal. They would do the same shit that you would do in that case. They're supposed to be, justice is supposed to be blind, and it's only supposed to be about the law. But come on, if you got a relationship with somebody, come on, you're gonna be like, I can't do that. That's my boy. I can't let him down like that.
I can't let him down like that, right? No doubt. Right. So the system, like, listen, like what we're saying, the system, all this shit needs to be reformed. Yeah, it's a lot of bullshit, man. And what I would say, we got to keep our black asses out of trouble. Our black asses living in America, we are targets. You know what I'm saying? We like that little red dot on the bullseye on the target. We like the dot that everybody wants to hit. That's who we are. We're the most popular. And we're always going to be the most popular because somebody has to be the slave in America to keep America going, to stay afloat. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, when we talked about what that was on episode 1, about how much $1.7 trillion or something, you told us that comes through here yearly or whatever. They need that shit. They need it. They need to keep us locked up, to keep these prisons going, because the prisons, that's a part of stock.
Yeah.
They be goddamn trading that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's all, listen, the thing is, we got to keep our asses out of trouble, man. And you say, how do you do that when you're struggling? Look, I was in the streets. I used to be out there hustling. I was out there doing all kind of crazy shit, man. And I turned my life around, but it was something that I wanted to do. Yeah, it was hard. No different as hard as it was by being on that corner or being out there hanging with the boys. It was hard, but I put the work in and I started studying. That's the key goddamn word. Don't pray. No, and I'm not saying don't pray, but I'm like, I told somebody that one day, I said, praying is studying. Because you just like with praying, you can sit there all day praying without any faith, without any study. It's like hope, going, man, I hope it don't rain. No, get an umbrella and be sure. Have an umbrella just in case it goddamn rain. So that's what studying does. So get your asses out the streets, man. That's the only way. You don't got to deal with none of this shit. Yeah, we targets. It's wrong. I get it. I'm with it. But in order to protect ourselves, number one, keep ourselves out of their shit, out of that goddamn Red Bullseye shit. We don't want to be the target. So we got to make sure we stay on top of our shit. Study, get out here, study, whatever you got to do. I don't care. Yeah, you're on the corner, you're doing this shit. There's something that you talented in that you can do. You can get into the stock market. You can get into real estate. You can get into auto deal. I mean, whatever. You got a felony. Those are 3 things right there that you can do without a degree. Yeah. All of that I just said, selling cars, selling homes, selling and trading. You don't even need a degree. You got some paper in your pocket. Learn and study. That's fucking it, man. Like real shit. But these are you got to try these shits right here, man. These cookie thins.
Oh yeah,
chocolate chip. You ever had these?
Yeah, I've been on those for.
Yeah, man. These joints are buttery and nice, man. Benton's. We always plug some. We're gonna plug Benton's, wholesome, crunchy. These things, and I'm eating them right here, and I'm letting you know these are good. These things are good, man.
It tastes like when grandma used to make the cookies back in the day, like the little hard crumbs and stuff that was left in the pan. And people used to fight for them. No, grandma said I can have the pan. Nah, them joints, they got it.
Yo, they buttery with some milk on them bad boys. They're good, man. Definitely good.
Yep. And that's what I was, when you was talking, I wanted to throw that in there. But yeah, prayer, what's the saying is, prayer without action is just a wish.
Right. Prayer without action is just a wish. And
just a wish.
If you're going, there's another saying with that. If you're going to worry, why pray? And if you're going to pray, why worry? You know what I'm saying? So there's another part to it. But at the end of all that shit, we got to study. You know what I'm saying? Me and C, man, we spend every day, man, studying, man. You got to study out here. And I'm telling you, no matter, and this is for, I don't care what your skin color is. If you feel like the system's against you and all, whatever, or they targeting you, study, get out here, study, focus on one thing and put that one thing and make it your focus. And I guarantee you will be successful in it because you are going to understand the insides and outsides of it. And you won't have to do all that stuff. And it'll take you out the streets. Yeah. So listen, man, we trying to save lives here, change hearts and open discussions and get people to start talking and thinking again, man, because again, the system has taken over and people are fucking lost in front of these goddamn things like, all fucking day, just lost. They don't know what the hell's going on, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when our elders got to say that, on episode 8, when your elders got to say, and they look at you and smile and go, I'm glad you guys are thinking, that's a fucking problem, man, that they're seeing nobody thinking anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Thinking for yourself, not just listening.
That little device in your hand do all the thinking for you.
Right. People, what they say, Google it. Google. You don't even know your fucking own address. Some kids, you ask them their number, they don't even know their cell phone number, cuz they got to look at the shit and go, wait, you like, the fuck is, listen, let me tell you something. 212-568-9839. 212-368-98. What is it? Wait. 368. I'm gonna tell you right now. This is your joy right here.
I know.
212-368-9856. That's
3856.
Yeah. Yep. Listen, those numbers. You know how old those numbers are, cuz?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yep. Come on, man. 866-0295. That's from I was 5, 6, 7 years old. Come on. And the car company that my pops own, 866-0072. Come on, man.
Yo, but see, that joint is storage. But people use this shit. They think this, let me get the 128 gigabytes. This is the biggest goddamn gigabyte.
This is going to bring it back because half the people, I even say 70% of the people ain't even going to recognize this. This was, I ain't even going to tell them what it is. TA38619.
TA38619. I remember that shit, man.
Now, that was my father's mother's telephone number. That's when they used to use numbers in the telephone number. See, a lot of people don't even remember.
Alphabets, right. Yeah. That's crazy, yeah. But see that, cuz? But look how that database works because you think every day. And people don't understand your mind is a muscle. It's no different than your muscle here. You got to work that motherfucker out. You got to work this out. That's why having this conversation, these discussions every day. You know what I'm saying? Not just sitting there listening to shit. That's not doing anything for you. You have to recite it. You have to have, an actual conversation to work that muscle. You know what I mean? Make it hurt a little bit. That's when your joint is tightening up. Like, all right, I'm not like the gym. When you're in the gym and your arm, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You got to work that mind.
You got to work it, and you're not working it by constantly being like this all the time. That's not work. You got to understand it's not working. You all they doing is feeding you. And what happens when a person just keep getting fed? They get fat
and lazy.
Fat, lazy, and broken down.
Right. What's that movie, man? That cartoon. You always watch movies and cartoons, and it always has something to do with the times. But it's a cartoon that the dude had a Slurpee, and he's like looking fat old motherfucker. It's one of those cartoons. What's the goddamn? Let me see, man. I'm gonna tell you what is it? You gonna know what it is, or if you haven't, you gotta watch it. It's about when everybody was what's the cartoon called? And everybody was living in the internet, and these motherfuckers they were fat, drinking Slurpees, and just driving on self cars, and just the shit was taking them around everywhere. And it was us.
Yeah.
Oh, it was us. Next episode. We're gonna talk about that. I'm a plug, you know what I'm saying? Bring that and yeah, but I'm gonna get that for y'all so y'all can watch it. If nobody hasn't seen it, or if you've seen it, you'll be like, oh yeah, but yeah, they just showed us we were fucked up, man. That's how it looked. We fat in electric cars that were just driving us around, and motherfuckers just eating Slurpees and shit, drinking, ain't doing shit because that's what they want. Fucking, but guess what? I know it looks amazing. I'm gonna be the dude in 2050, still riding bicycles, motorcycles, the old school shit. You're gonna be like, he on an antique, because I'm still gonna be using my brain. I'm gonna be driving my car. You're gonna be like, oh, he got that old 1994. Yep. Or that 2020. Yep. 30 years old. Yep. Antique. That 2020 is gonna be an antique. I would still be driving that F-150. Listen,
dude.
They're gonna have us fucked later on.
Yeah, we can't get so convenient that we get fucked, and that's what it's coming to. I had to turn off the backup system on my car because it's making me forget to do the basics when you're backing up. You turn your head, look both ways. You got the system beep 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 beep. So you just get in your car and listen for the beep. And what happened was I had rented a car one time, and I'm waiting for the beep, and I'm just backing up, not looking. Somebody almost swiped off the back of the car. I'm like, yo.
Ain't no beep in the motherfucker.
After that, I was like, yo, that backup thing.
Turn that shit off. Right.
Because you constantly, they making things more convenient for us. Like, them self-driving cars, I'm sorry. Like you said, in 2050, I'm going to be like this still.
Antique shit, yo. I don't want to, I hate cabs as it is. I hate Ubers. I got to ride with a motherfucker. And I don't want to call no names, but motherfuckers that can't drive, and it's usually a group of people, it's a stereotype, but they can't fucking drive. And I just be like, what the fuck, man? Can you go fast? But I'm confident with my driving skills. I'm comfortable. And I love driving. It's fun, man. So I'm going to be driving my 2020. And while y'all in 2050 talking about, look, man, I got the new shit and I don't know how to drive it. Yeah, okay, that's cool. But I'm driving, pushing my shit.
That's right.
It's making us stupider, man. Like you said, that's what it's doing. It's taking away, my driving skills, they're ridiculous. Like I ask people little shit. They be like, I bet I could drive better. I'll be like, nah, you can't. Trust me. I said, can you back up all the way doing the same speed you're doing forward as you can do backwards? I could do that shit. You know what I mean? Our skills is fucking nice.
You can't do that.
Right. Our skills, and we can pull right in. If you're doing the one banger, like, that's it. Your wheel should only go like this when you're back in them parallel parking.
Yep.
You got to do motherfucking 9 times. That you fucked up.
Yep.
You need to get in that fucking new shit. The electric, let them drive you around, because we've been getting screwed as black men forever, and it's always been like that. So we had to work harder, prove that we're actual men. We got to prove that shit sometime, that we're actually fucking men. You know what I mean? That we are equal to another white man or something. That's a hard enough job right there already. Let alone to come home and you got to fight with the children, the mother of the children, to be the father of your children that you're a part of birthing them. You know what I'm saying? Bringing them into this world. I don't think a father should have to work that hard. And I disagree with all these parents that have to fight for their kids, man. I told somebody once, I said, I'm not fighting for something that is already mine. It's already mine. Why do I have to fight for this? This is already mine. A mother doesn't have to fight for her children. She doesn't have to fight and go through shit. Meaning, yeah, okay, the court system is about making money. It's making these lawyers money. It's not doing anything for us. I shouldn't have to fight for that. And that's why I said it's about changing hearts. And that's what I want to do. Get people to understand, listen, you two sit down, mother and the father, sit down. Okay, you guys don't get along. You don't want to spend the rest of your lives together. Okay, that's bullshit. You're all right. But you guys have kids together. Raise those kids together. Love those kids together. Appreciate those kids together. And you guys have the kids together. But it shouldn't be a tug of war where, I get this date, I get this, I get that. Listen, learn to goddamn co-parent together and just kick it together. Go have Christmas together. It's okay. You don't got to, y'all can bring your that person can bring their special person. You can bring your special person and still the kids will have love. And if you give these kids love, these kids will grow up better and they will freaking focus on having love. But if they see two people that are bitter and angry, what the fuck is the kid going to grow up like? Being bitter and angry. That's what you're going to have. You're going to have these kids striking back and yelling at authority and disrespecting people. Like you got these kids now out here snitching with no morals, no values, no value system, no loyalty, no love in their heart, emotionless, because they seen that at home. So that's why it starts at home, man. And we have to remove the system from our homes. I get it. Oh, he doesn't do this. Listen. Sit down, and this is for men and women. Sit down together, come up with a plan that's going to work for your family. Just because you guys are not together anymore doesn't mean you are not a family. You're still a unit. You still have kids together. Once you guys made kids together, you are a unit now. And you guys have to learn to get along. That's how this shit got to be, man. I'm tired of seeing it like this, man. It's not, I see it, and it's everywhere. You know what I mean? That you got kids that are being, tug of war being pulled like the goddamn rope while the parents argue back and forth to be the best parent. It's like, you shouldn't have to do that, man. I remember Chris Rock saying he said he had to show he's Chris Rock. He's Chris Rock. You know who the fuck he is, but he still had to fight for his kids and show the refrigerator in his house, show what bed he had to take pictures of the beds that they'll be sleeping in just to get fucking custody of the kids. Like, why do you have to do all that shit? That's embarrassing. And people that want to go through that, you should think about that shit. Like, this is a fucking embarrassing. I don't have to disgrace my family like this. Look, you the father. I know that. You want to see them Saturday? Come get them Saturday. You want to have them for the whole week? I ain't doing nothing with them. I'll be with my girlfriends. Keep them. That's how it should be. It should just be a more mutual agreement. That's it. Not chaos behind your feelings. That's what it boils down to. I can't stand her. I don't like him. Yeah. You love the fucking kids though, man. So that's where you guys have to put away your differences, step a fucking side of all the bullshit that you guys are dealing with and focus on the kids. Like, look, listen, that's your dad. I'm your mother. And you going with your dad this weekend. And mothers, fight for the dads, meaning defend him. If the kids are going, I don't want to go, Ma, because he doesn't love you no more. He left us. Fight, defend the man. Hey, listen, that's your father. He brought you in this world. Without him, you wouldn't fucking be here. Fathers, do the same thing. Don't be like, oh, she's a bitch. That's how your mother is. I see girls do it. I'm not blaming one sex. I'm saying it's everybody, man. It's in a whole. Everybody has to participate in this shit and cooperate to get this shit to come together so we can have better children. We talking about how the kids are. It starts at home, man. It starts at home and the value system. And it starts with it. Like I said, we changing hearts here on the Real and Unapologetic podcast, man. This is your boy Reef. And I'm about to let C, man, talk to what's dear and close to him.
Yeah, you said it all, Reef. This child support and the alimony, and it's ridiculous, man. And I'm saying you got some guys paying more child support and alimony than these rich celebrities. Why? Because they got those powerful attorneys. that got their back. They're gonna make sure everything works out in his favor. But see, it really, when it comes to raising your kids, man, it shouldn't even be about the money, because money can't replace that void that kid is missing, because you sitting there talking bad about the father. When a kid looks at his father and when a kid looks at his mother, you can't have the other parent sitting there degrading and bringing down the other parent in front of that kid, because that kid has feelings for both. So if you sitting there, oh, your father ain't shit, or your mother ain't this, that's hurtful to the kid. That's hurtful to the kid, because you're talking about somebody that he or she loves. Mm-hmm. So it's got to be about the kids first and foremost, and women, seriously, y'all got to stop letting your emotions make y'all so vindictive. Just put a little logic, just sprinkle a little logic in there sometime. Mm-hmm. It's okay. We broke up or whatever. Let the feelings go. You know what? I honestly, and I'm being honest, if I couldn't fight, I wouldn't be fighting if somebody just basically came up to me and was like, you know what? I don't love you no more. Get the fuck out of my life. Come on. Right. Okay. And a man looks at it like this. All right. Okay.
Right.
All right. And that's it. But no, the first thing with a woman is she got to figure out a way to hurt you.
Right.
She has, no matter what she does, no matter how long it takes, she's got to figure out a way to hurt you. Yeah. Most of the time, it's going to be through your kids. And that's what they always bring up first. Oh, if you leave, you're never going to see your kids again. Mm. Oh, if you leave, I'm moving out of state. I'm taking the kids out of state. If you leave, it's got to be a logical thing. And you're not hurting him. You're hurting the kids, because the kids need their father in their life.
No doubt. I agree. Yeah.
Again, if it falls on both parts, because I've seen, not too many, but I've seen some guys be straight up vindictive and you know what? Fuck it. I'm not working ever again, so you can't get no child support. I'm not working again, so you can't get no alimony. Look, like I said in the beginning, if the woman was with you from the rough times till before you blew up, regardless of what people think, I think she deserves half. But if you coming in and he's already blown up,
wait, cuz you said half, man. I'd have, cuz 10%, man. Listen, I get what you're saying, cuz
she was paying all the bills while you was.
You wasn't with me in the gym.
Yes, she was. Yes, she was. You was coming home to some home cooked meals. You was coming home. Because I'm with you, man. Bills paid because you living on a college student salary. You ain't got money. You working.
So you talking about? All right, you talking about that acrimony? She was with him through the whole shit, paying his school bills and everything, took care of him, and he still broke her off. Mm-hmm. That type of, what I'm saying? He still didn't give her half though. He had 70 million. He gave her 10 million. I see what I mean? 10%, cuz it's still good. You 10 million, you still doing good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he really put the work in. I know she put some work in, but she didn't spend 10 million. He gave her 10. She spent $1 million. And I know her work, her effort and all that work and hard work, boom, that was 9 million for that. And then he bought the house. I think that's fair. I get it. I don't see, like, even with Jeff Bezos, when you think about half, I don't understand. Like, Jeff Bezos was in Amazon from 94 all the way up until now. And he was, with his divorce, she's trying to take half of 130, what? He had 130 billion or some shit. How you say that? Like, so listen what you're saying, cuz you're saying she should get half.
Well, that wasn't a real divorce, man. That was a tax shelter.
I know that was yeah. That was some bullshit, but I'm just saying, just think about that number. 130 billion. Somebody that's worth 70 million. So dude worth 70 million, he gave her 10 million. That's still good. Somebody coming after somebody for 130 billion, she don't get half. She get like $1 billion. $1 billion is still set her off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 10% would still set her off.
They got, you know, if they going after half, they got to have a record of everything, man. They got to have receipts.
I don't think
Everything.
See, I don't agree with any of that, because like I said, the mind that built it. Now, if it's a 50-50, like what me and you were doing, 50-50, we going in, we putting the work in, 50-50. Whatever proceeds we get, we split 50-50. This is work. We both putting the work in, we both on the mics, we both doing it. If I still got to come home, I'm still helping to pay the bills, I'm still taking care of the house, I'm still doing this, but now I'm going to the office and I'm focused and I'm building. You might bring me some meals someday, like, oh, I'm gonna stop by, give you the office. Yeah, I can order from Pizza Hut. But you come by, you being nice, boom, cool. I appreciate that. The thing is, I'm with it. Like I'm with it. I agree with giving her a percentage, but like I said, somebody that worked and made 130 billion, she don't get to take half of that. It's not, especially it's to cure the pain, man. What do women do when they're angry? They go shop. They go shop, cuz they go, what do you call it? It's called emotional, what is it called? I forgot what you call it. Bottom line is, but that's what they do. They go shop. They go shop to cure the pain. And that's why they get half. All right, so she's not so hurt. But what about when they're still hurt and you give her half and she's still bitter and she's still angry? What do you get to do as a man? Do you get to tell her, shut the fuck up? You got half. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you get to do? Like, she took half your shit. Now you like, okay, I gave you half, but she's still angry and bitter.
What you do, you just sit back and you hope that she do with this chick. What was her name? I think at the time, it was the biggest divorce settlement in the world. This happened, I think, I want to say the 70s or 80s, but at the time, it was the biggest divorce settlement. She got like, it was reported, nobody knows for sure, but it was reported that she left the marriage with $1 billion. And 10 years later, guess what?
She was broke.
You filed bankruptcy. She had over $46 million in debt. How do you blow $1 billion in
10 years?
That's $100 million a year.
Well,
you just blowing, yo.
That's because people always wish for money, or they go, I want to be rich, but they don't understand the money. You see what I'm saying? So it's like somebody who wins the lottery. A lot of those people who win the lottery, they blow it because they don't understand. They didn't work for it. They don't know how hard the work that went into it. They don't understand. They don't know anything outside and what to do with that money. So the money that the hand that's guiding that money ends up doing wrong with it because it didn't actually work for that money. But if you worked for $1 billion, cuz you're gonna have that shit till you die.
Oh yeah.
Because you're gonna know what to do with it.
Every penny is too.
Right. You're gonna know what to do with it, where everything is at. You're gonna know. But like I said, when you get anything handed to you, and that's just like those women, they didn't really work for that. Because if she worked for that, she wouldn't 10 years later, she would have been good. Mm-hmm. But because she didn't work for it, it was just given to her because she didn't understand his dream and his passion. Bitch, you wasn't with me in the gym. Yo, for real, I gotta say that because cuz you know, we're real unapologetic. We gotta be real, man, and I get it. We gotta have love for the women viewers and everybody, and I love them. But bitch, you wasn't with me in the gym. You wasn't, man. So, hey, listen. Especially, you know, I get it. You home with the kids, but I give you 10 million, you good. I mean, you serious. I'm telling you good. I mean, even if I got 70, you get 10, you good. Just chill. You good. You still good. Yo, listen, man. It's a crazy world, man, and the stuff that goes on. But like I said, man, we on the Real and Unapologetic podcast where we give you the real truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you, God, Buddha, whoever you know you pray to. But yo, we're gonna get into plugging. You know, this is the section of the segment that we plug a family business, a sponsor, and I'm gonna let C get right into that.
Yo, all I'm gonna say is Elon Musk, Tesla better watch out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Lucid Motors they coming at you. Now I know everybody talks about how technology is integrated in cars and vehicles now, but they coming at it from a different standpoint. They basically like, what if your computer had wheels and you could drive it? That's how much technology is in this car. Car looks nice. I mean, you got to see it. I mean, and I'm sure we'll have some pictures up. But yo, the windshield goes from the hood of the car to just about the back of the car. I mean, technology in it. You got Bluetooth, everything that you can have on your phone and on your computer, you can have in this car. It's basically an office on wheels. You know, self-driving. The battery system, from what I hear, is better than Tesla's. You know, on the basic model, I think you can get 517 miles on the charge, 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. Come on, man. And the car looks nice too. And that's the technology that we're headed. Pure electric. Yeah, Tesla better watch out.
Hey, yeah.
Lucid
All right.
Motors is coming.
Lucid Motors, man. Lucid Motors, you know,
And I think
check
the
out
name of the first vehicle is called the Lucid Air.
the Lucid Air. And you heard that right here on the Real and Unapologetic podcast. You know what I mean? So, what's up, man? This is the real take. And right now, I'm looking at what C put down, man. 500,000 COVID deaths. What's up with that?
Yeah, I'm saying it's 500,000 deaths, but they didn't have to be.
Right.
Somebody's got to be responsible for that. Somebody's got to be held accountable for that. So every lawmaker, take it all the way up to that orange dude. Everybody's got to be held accountable for that, because it was fucked up. They did not handle it well at all. How this is the United States of America, okay? How are what did he call them? Shithole countries or third world countries, whatever he called them. How are they having less deaths than us when they have nowhere near the resources that we have? So that's a classic case of just total mismanagement, totally fucking shit up. You know? I mean, and it was simple stuff, man. Simple stuff that he could have done and that they could have said. But yet when you got leaders, and you know some people follow their leaders blindly, you know, whatever he says, that's what I'm going to do, because they lost the ability to think.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the world's best scientists in his field telling you, hey, look, this is what's going to happen. And if you start seeing this guy telling you what's happening, and this orange dude is telling you, yo, this not going to happen. We got 15 cases, and it's going to be down to 0 in a week. But the scientist is over here. That's not happening. And you constantly see what the scientist is telling you to be true. You got to give that orange dude up. You got to tell him, yo, that's it for you. We eventually did that, but still, somebody needs to be held accountable.
Right. Because what happened? I got to play the
devil's advocate.
Yeah. What happened to the flu, man? There was no flu cases though. So the flu went away. Do you know that? Like the case of the flu was 0.
Yeah,
but there was no flu, cuz. So those numbers, they bullshitting us, cuz. This is America, like you said.
Think about it though.
I'm with you.
Okay, now and you got to look at it like this. Like even when you got a cold, right? You know how fast colds spread. And I've been like, when I go for my doctor's appointments and everything, you know, I always ask, hey doc, how's it been going? It's been slow. I'm like, well, doc, yeah, because everybody's paying more attention to washing their hands. Everybody's putting on masks. You catch a cold just by going out in the street. Somebody sneezed 20 minutes before you got there. You catching a cold. You touching a doorknob. You rub your nose. You got a cold. But now everybody got on masks. Everybody's washing their hands. Dude, that only makes sense because everybody's protected now. Everybody's protected. Now, I'm in a way, I'm totally against it because, we need to build up these immunities. If everybody's so sanitized now, then your body can't build up antibodies and immunities to every regular stuff,
Right. So listen to that. If they're not being built up, how do we know these deaths? This is what they were saying was COVID. They were saying it was corona. You know what I'm saying? That people had the corona and that's what they were dying from. Like, we are not in these labs. Like, I get it. They put these doctors on. Come on, man. And the reason I go back to, I always pull up and I'm gonna show a clip of that of the Truman Show is because this is how I believe this world is. And this is why I believe they shut down Jim Carrey and started saying he was crazy, because after he made that movie, that's right after that, they started saying he's crazy. He started showing what's really goes on. All the bullshit that goes on, all the paint. It's impossible. I just look at this country, man, and I'm gonna go point, just look at the meme stocks. Mm-hmm. These kids from through Reddit, they're pushing this, and they're just trying to take money from the billionaires that's been making all the money. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because it's been rigged for them to make the most of the money, and they were getting pissed off of it. Your boy Warren Buffett's friend, Munger or whatever, was like, "Oh, this is totally wrong. If they want to, make it right, make the money the right way, boom, boom." But did you do it the right way? Like, did you do it the right way? Like, yeah, I get it. These kids are pushing the envelope. Like, yo, we're gonna make this stock go up, and then we're gonna get broken off. They're hustling. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, anytime somebody goes outside of the system, that's when they start saying it's wrong, it's crazy.
Now, what Jim Carrey movie is this? Because I got it.
Yeah, I want you to watch it because I want you to watch it. So we're gonna talk about that on episode 11. We'll talk about that, and we'll throw that as a segment on a real take. But I want C to watch that so we can talk about it. But watch the Truman Show. Watch the Truman Show, and all your viewers that never seen the Truman Show, watch the Truman Show, man. He paints listen. He breaks out. I'm gonna let you watch it. I ain't even gonna tell you about it. You gotta watch it. You watch it, you're gonna be like, oh shit. And that right after that movie, that's when they started Jim Carrey's crazy. He's this, he's that, he's boom, boom, boom. And they did Dave Chappelle the same way. Oh, Dave Chappelle with the Africa, this and this, because he turned some shit down that whatever was in the inside, we wasn't in that room. Mm-hmm. Whatever was in that room, Dave was like, I ain't fucking with this. Yeah. And they like, huh? Everybody else does. He's like, I ain't fucking with it. I ain't selling out for everybody. You gonna get out of 100, you're gonna get 98 motherfuckers that will sell out. Mm-hmm. 2 of them are gonna go, I'm not doing that shit, man. You want me to do that shit? Nah, I ain't put my thing in the pipe. Nah, I ain't doing that. You want to cut it? Nah, we ain't doing that. Somebody's gonna be like, nah, I'm not doing it because of the money. And Dave Chappelle turned down the 50 million, and people looked at him. He crazy. If you have morals and values, a value system, and you built them, certain shit you're not doing. You're gonna be like, fuck that shit. 50 million, I don't give a shit. You can keep the 50 million. And he came back and made it and showed him he did it without it. You know what I'm saying?
But see, that goes back what I was talking about on the other episode. Yo, okay, Dave Chappelle turned down 50 million. Okay, so yeah, his up here. But don't look at him as a trooper and somebody who bucking the system. He turned it down because it wasn't his number. There's a number out there.
There's a number.
50 million. He's like, nah. But then, if there was 150 million, would he have said the same thing?
Right. But because let me ask you something. There's a morals, and we all have these morals and values that there's certain shit that you won't do. no matter what. There's a certain shit I'm not doing, no matter fucking what number. I'm not doing it. I don't give a shit. Yo, 399 billion. Look, I'm sorry, yo. I'm just gonna be the dumbest motherfucker because there's certain shit I won't do because it's just there's certain to this day, with shorties, there's certain shit, man. I'm not doing. That shit, you stay away from me with that. I don't give a fuck how much love we got, whatever. Yo, there's certain shit. Just the morals and value system just goes, listen, we disagree with that. And I'm just telling you, there's certain cats that just stand on their shit and be like, I'm not fucking with that. Fuck that shit. 50 million or 60 million, you can keep that shit. Some of these cats got played, but watch the Truman Show. Yo, from the satellites falling out the sky to the cameras being watched, the commercials everywhere, the way that they set things up for the woman that you marry, yo, you got to watch it. And he escapes. And that's all I'm going to say. But check out the Truman Show. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're going to talk about that. Like I said, catch you want to watch episode 10 because episode 10 is going to be a live one anyway. But episode 10, we're going to talk about the Truman Show on that one, man.
Because you kind of mentioned something and you were talking about the COVID deaths and saying that some people could have been dying of the flu and all of that. But look at it like this, okay? If you got terminal cancer and you driving your car and you get into a crash and you die in the crash, they don't put on your death certificate that you died of cancer, even though you was dying of it. There was some extenuating circumstances that helped speed up that death.
Right.
So even if people had pre-existing conditions, you don't say, like I said, if you got cancer and you in a car crash, they don't put that you died of cancer on your death certificate. They put blunt force trauma, head injury.
Right.
You know? And it's the same thing with COVID. So what the person was on dialysis? So what the person was due for?
Because what I'm trying to tell you is that so what? But I gotta say somewhat because COVID, like, all right, I went. Let me go before we go back. I'm gonna go back. I went to go pick up a prescription. It had nothing to do with fucking COVID. And I told you this. You know, at the end, you got the pen pad for your debit card, and then you got the little signature pad to sign off for your prescription. So I go to sign off with the pen for the prescription. She takes the pen and goes, no, you got to sign it COVID. I said, I'm not signing COVID. I don't got COVID. This is not no COVID prescription. She said, you got to sign a COVID. I said, I'm not doing. I said, why? So I'm sitting there with the pharmacist and we going back and forth. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. And she's like, well, it's to prevent the from the pen bullshit she was telling me. Again, thinking I was going to listen because then I got her on this one. I go, that don't make sense. So I can use the pen on the pen pad to sign my name for the credit card though. How is that working? This is what, and then she got a real fucking thing. Well, this is what they told us to do. I'm like, yeah. I said, don't just, and I asked, I said, don't that sound like some bullshit? She knew it was bullshit.
I agree with you. That's
bullshit, cuz.
I'm not disputing the fact that there are some unscrupulous doctors and businesses out there exploiting it because once you put that something is for COVID, they basically guaranteed their payment. You know? So yeah, I'm not going to deny that there's some unscrupulous people.
But even in the hospitals, guys, and all these numbers, I don't believe these numbers because I don't trust the system. I'm never going to trust the system because this system has been fucking us, and there's no reason why we should believe. If you black, I get it that they told you couldn't see your loved one, and that's the reason why they said that. Because at the end of the day, you don't know what you would have saw. They said you can't do it and you can't do this, but we can sit in the fucking American Airlines plane while Delta is separating, still singling every middle seat. They're not. American got your ass like this together, motherfucker, tight. And they run around like it's a schoolyard going, put your mask on, sir. Put your mask on over your nose. Why don't you just separate like Delta? But I guess you're out for the buck.
Right.
Delta is. I'm
saying there are people out there who are exploiting the system. But you know what? In times like this, you got to find people that you can trust. And I trust my family members. And I'm trusting, since I'm not seeing it, I'm trusting what they see with their eyes. Now we've got several people in our families that are on the front lines, and they telling me what they see. I've got other cousins on the other side of the family who are nurses, and they like, yo, I have never seen anything like this before. People are coming in, and it's like they're looking at their x-rays, and their x-rays is showing like somebody who been smoking for 20 years. There's so much damage to their lungs, and the person just started feeling sick 2 weeks ago with no lung problems.
Yo, I'm not saying there's not something out there, but I'm gonna be real with you. They always fucking us, man, and that's the word I got to use. I got to describe that as us being fucked. You know what I'm saying? Like Ice Cube said, no Vaseline. That's what they've been doing to us for years, because this shit right here, everything that hits our black neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? It hits the inner cities, and it hits them the heaviest, and it hits the Hispanics the heaviest. That's who it hits the heaviest. You know what I mean? That's who it hits. It always hits the heaviest. Now, how do we not know that there's not a certain cell that they are? These motherfucker scientists, this is what they do, man. They do this. How do they know they did not set up a cell that's only in African Americans and or if you have that same bloodline and you're not 100% European or 100%, you know what I'm saying? And it's a cell that only blacks and Latinos or something carry, and that's the shit that they're sending out. We don't know that shit.
Right, we don't.
We don't know that shit, and all I'm saying is that these numbers, listen, they put a lot of fairy tales, and when I say fairy tales, I'm saying like FEARY, fairy tales to scare your ass. They put a lot of fairy tales out to scare us, to keep us, and that's how they do a lot of things, and I get it. But I've never been one of them, and I know, like you're saying, we got people on the front line and everything. Look, I'm not saying what they're not seeing is not real. What I'm saying is what's being sent out is probably more of a terrorist act within America targeted against our people. That's what I'm saying.
Well, so you know how I feel about that. You know I'm Mr. Conspiracy Theory.
Yeah, I'm like that. Yeah,
touch on it because I know we need to do a show on conspiracy theories.
Yeah,
too.
I'm with it.
You know? But yeah, my thing is that, look, and I think I told you this before. It took from the beginning of time on this planet to the 1970s for there to be 3 billion people on this planet, right? From the beginning of time right? As long as the Earth's been here, as long as to
1970
to the 1970s, 3 billion people. From 1970, we more than doubled what took hundreds of millions of years to do.
But how do we do that, cuz?
Huh?
How,
I got to break down the birds and the bees to you? You don't know?
No. Right. No. What I'm saying, so you saying we just fucking a lot.
Yeah, but not only that is, the human body was only designed to live but so long.
Right.
Like every other animal on this planet, and we've done everything that we could to constantly extend life, but at a certain point, we're going to start running out of resources because you get trapped in like a snowball effect. Okay, right. If you got more people on the planet, what do you got to do? You got to tear down more trees, the things that are cleaning the air for us, right? You got to tear down more trees to make room for people to live, right? You got to provide more cattle. What do cattle do? They chew grass and fart and burp all day long, throwing all that methane into the atmosphere. But see, you can't tell me that countries don't have a thing in place. And I'm not going to get too deep because we're going to save that for another show. But you can't tell me that these heads of countries and stuff don't already have a thing in place to start depopulating, because the earth our resources are running out. Okay, the stuff that we need to support human life is running out.
So you say, right? Okay. All right.
So they now what happens? Like you live, where you live, you got foxes, you got wolves, you got bear, you got deer. Whenever one of those populations start overgrowing and start either infringing on human territory or they start becoming a threat to other species, what do? They be like, okay,
hunting season.
Deer hunt. Instead of taking 1 deer, y'all can take 4 deer this season. But you can't say that about humans. You can't. Nobody can come out and say, you know what? It's too many of us on this planet. We're gonna have to start killing some of y'all motherfuckers off.
Well, China did it. China was taking them in the beginning. He was taking motherfucking killing what? The girls?
Mm-hmm.
The babies, right? Listen. So I'm with you. Now, see, you right where I'm at. We agree, and we agree and disagree on certain things there, but we agree. The fact is that something ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
Something ain't right. Now the numbers might be meaning the numbers. I can't say about the numbers, but COVID, I would say it's real. Now how it was created and formed and shit, I don't believe that shit because like I told you, they're doing a lot of shady shit. And if that didn't happen with the pen and me signing for my prescription, I would have probably been just as caught up with everybody, but that shit happened for a reason for me to see that to go, the fuck is that shit? And I'm standing there arguing with her, and she'd even look stupid for a minute. And I said, ma'am, that, you know, and I just say shit. I was like, you know, that don't make no sense. And she's like, well, that's what they told us. I'm like, yeah, that's the only thing you can say is that you don't know what else after that shit. You the pharmacist. So if you don't know what the fuck is going on, then trust me, there's some shady shit.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Making sure they get paid. That's all.
Right. I know they making sure. I'm with that. But like I said, listen, I love America. Don't come fucking, you know what I'm saying? The Confederate boys coming through with the fucking, you know, Confederate flags coming up over here trying to fuck with me. I love America, man. But y'all be doing a lot of shady shit. Y'all know that shit. I ain't got to tell y'all. We sit down and have a beer together, eat, and I'll tell y'all that shit is shady. They be doing a lot of shady. I'm eating these fucking crumbs like it's grandma's cookies, man. I'm eating crumbs now out that shit. Again, man.
Yo, show no shame, man. Tip that bag and get them crumbs out, yo.
Yo, I'm telling you, man. Yo, you right. For real, yo, them things are good. Them bad boys, Benton's cookies, wholesome and crunchy, chocolate chip cookies, man. If you like chocolate chip cookies like me, hop on those joints. All right, so we've come close to the end, and right now we at get the fuck out of here. What's the get the fuck out of here, cuz? Who's getting the fuck out of here this week?
All right, you know, I want to tell you that there are some women that are so conceited. Now,
I know a lot of them.
I don't peep this video the other day where these guys were following this girl in her car, blowing the horn, and they were telling her, hey, pull over, and she wouldn't pull over. They were driving on like a narrow street or narrow stretch of road, so they couldn't pull alongside of her, but they just kept blowing the horn and waving to her. Automatically, she assumed that they hitting on her. So she get out in full Karen mode. Do you know what y'all doing? Y'all harassing me, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. You can't harass me. I know I look good and this and that. Blah, blah, blah. And the guy was just like, yo, you got the hose from the gas station stuck in your gas tank still. That's all they was trying to tell her. But she just automatically assumed I'm just the bomb, and these guys is trying to pull me over to talk to me or tell me how cute I am. He's driving around
with the hose, the whole kit, with the pump and all that?
With the pump and the handle and shit in her.
So she pulled the shit out?
She pulled the shit out. And driving down the road with it.
Yeah, I know she was fucking. Yo, immediately.
Well, you know what? That's like basically what they told her. They was like, "We're not coming after you.
After you, get out of here.
You got a fucking hose
in your fucking thing. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Now that was a get the fuck out of here. Yo, really? Now wherever you at, get the fuck out of here. Yo, that shit is that's funny as shit.
Leave me alone. Why do you keep following me? It's honestly so creepy, and I'm gonna call the cops. Okay?
Man, no.
Because you guys aren't leaving me alone, and that's why women can't go out in the world by themselves because of guys like you. What? Okay, so stop following me.
You have, I don't know if you have like a gas. You have a thing hanging out of your car.
What are you talking about?
There's literally a gas hose hanging out of your car. No one's being creeped. Oh, no, thank you. I guess. There's the thank you. That's she's what? She's taking it with her. She doesn't have.
Make sure to get all of it.
Wow, dude. You didn't even close the gas cap.
She's out here.
Shit, that's funny as shit, man.
And yo, you know what? Because that something like that actually happened to me maybe about 3 years ago. And don't ask me how. I'm not gonna ask I ain't asking no questions. But I'm standing there in the fruit section, you know, getting some apples and some oranges and stuff. And this lady walked past, and I look down, I see something. And I was like, what? And I look again, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, somebody will tell her about it. But then I turn the corner. She's standing there, 15 people around, and nobody said nothing to her. So I look at her, and she happened to look at me. We made eye contact, but I was like, when I get there, I'll tell her, you know. So then when I started walking towards me, she saw me walking towards me, and she was like, I'm married. I don't feel like being bothered right now. And, you know, you can just keep on. And I was like, miss, I'm trying to tell you, but you got a panty around one of your ankles. She walking around the store and nobody saying nothing. Her panty was hanging on her ankle and she just walking around the store. Now, how it got there, I don't know. I ain't asked no questions.
You sure you wasn't in the apple section, man? No. And pull them back. Yo, I know how it is. I've been in the apples, the fruit section, to pull them. You know what I'm saying? I try to do the Garden of Eden.
Thing she thought was that.
Yo, that's funny.
And I'm just coming to holler at her. I'm like,
yo, that's funny. She must have pulled her shit off and left her panty hanging out her jeans.
I was like, oh, maybe she went to the bathroom.
Right. I just forgot what how the fuck do you leave a panty on your foot? That's crazy, yo. Yeah. That's funny as shit. Yeah. Yo, so we telling her, get the fuck out of here. You ain't that cute. You know what I mean? She think, yo, women got to stop. We're going to talk about that shit. That's going to be another, all that conceited shit. Like sometimes brothers are just trying to help you. And so what that a brother wants to say, how you doing? As long as he ain't disrespecting you, and if he's want to say, hey, you beautiful, take it. You know what I'm saying? Listen, men, have y'all ever seen men act like that, ladies? Y'all ain't never seen a dude go, oh, hey, look, no, chill. I'm married. Stop, chill. And women do it all the time. There'd be 6 girls. It's more when it's like a bunch of women and they'll compliment you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it'll be like 6 girls and they'll say something. You don't never see a brother go, come on, hey, chill. You know, I got a lady back at home. Just leave me alone. Like, get the fuck out of here. We don't do those shit like that. So ladies, chill, calm down. That's why society's so fucking hot right now, because y'all are overreacting with every fucking thing, man. That's why all this shit is up. That's why the child support up. The guys is in prison. Alimony we got to pay for because y'all ain't that cute. Stop thinking you're cute now. Let me stop. But for real, man. All right. Here we go, man. Episode, what were we on? Episode 9? I forgot, man. We just rolling them out. You know what I'm saying? Huh?
Episode 9.
Yeah, episode 9. We keep rolling them out. Episode 10, we have it for you. Yo, listen, episode 10 is gonna be fire. You got to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? It's a special episode. You know, so we'll tell you when you watch it. But again, this is the Real and Unapologetic podcast with your boy Reeve and your boy C. And again, we killed it, and we appreciate you, man. Thank you. Yo, let's go. All right.